When once upon a time there was a king. He had three sons. But with the growing age, he was worried because all his three sons were dumb-headed. So he thought, after me, how will these princes will look after my state? What will happen to my people? They are my responsibility. So to groom them up, he went to a seer, a very learned man of the times. His name was Vishnu Sharman. And he went one day to him and said, "Sir, please, I request you, do something with my princes. Groom them, educate them, teach them, this good governance and wisdom, so that one day after me, they can also become a successful kings." He said, "Okay, leave them to me. I'll work upon them." Then he spends few days with them, and then he realized that these three are a tough task. Traditional teaching method won't work upon them. Lecturing and theoretical analysis won't do anything good to them. So he started telling them stories. That too, animal stories.
Okay.
Animals speak like us. They think like us. So the princess was surprised. What's going on here? Their curiosity was raised. They started, paying attention to this seer. And then, day by day, these stories with trifle, small morals groom them up. And one day, they became good administrators. So these stories are none other than the stories of what we call Panchatantra.
Oh. So what else can be a very good start just like this? So dear viewers, आप लोग समझ गए होंगे कि आज का हमारा टॉपिक है स्टोरी टेलिंग. एंड जब स्टोरी टेलिंग की बात आती है तो who else can be a better person? So here, dear viewers, I introduce Dr. Anand Vyas.
Thank you.
Dr. Anand is Masters in Language and he is also a PhD in Mahabharat, a very well-known granth of Hinduism. So, Dr. Anand, welcome to the Everything Podcast.
Thank you. Just call me Anand.
वैसे व्यूअर्स, मैं आपको इनका एकेडमिक बैकग्राउंड तो मैंने आपको बताया, बट एक खास पहचान अगर मैं आपको दूं तो ही इज़ माई फैकल्टी, ही इज़ माई गुरु when I was doing my bachelor's. He was an English faculty. And today I think not only me but all of us are so delighted कि he is a part of us right now.
Thank you.
सर, मुझे आपको डॉक्टर आनंद कहने से थोड़ा सा अजीब लग रहा है.
Of course, just call me Anand.
आप मेरे गुरु हो, मैं आपको सर कहूँगा.
You're welcome.
You can just address me whatever you want to.
Okay.
या जो आप मुझे कॉलेज में कहा करते थे.
Good thing. Hero of my drama. Okay.
Yes sir, आपके साथ ड्रामा भी बहुत किया है.
Stage किया. That was a fantastic period. You had that instinct, creative instinct. Your power of expression was very important.
मतलब जब मैं 12th में था और पहली बार जब कॉलेज में आया था तो आई वॉज अ वेरी शाई एंड काइंड ऑफ अ थिंग. फिर जिस तरह से आपने मुझे ग्रूम किया कि भाई एंड ऑल, जिस तरह से मैं अभी हूँ या उस तरह से वहाँ पे था, That was a sheer credit, complete credit goes to you कि भाई किस तरह से आपने मुझे not only you mentored but इनर आर्टिस्ट जो आपने निकाला वो बहुत कम लोग कर सकते हैं.
That's true.
एंड अगेन सर, थैंक यू फॉर एक्सेप्टिंग दिस एंड टाइम निकाल के आप
See, I opened up. You ended with, now you invited me to come out of my cocoon now. That traditional teacher out of the class. You brought in a wonderful scenario background. Yeah.
बट सर ऑनेस्टली कॉलेज की बात करें तो टू ग्रेट एक्सटेंट ये ट्रेंड आज भी देखा गया है कि लोग इंग्लिश लैंग्वेज को उतना ज़्यादा इम्पोर्टेंस नहीं दे रहे एंड जितना मेरे साइंस के कॉलेज के जितने स्टूडेंट्स थे उसका स्ट्रेंथ देखूं और व्हेन यू वर डिलीवरिंग अ लेक्चर इंग्लिश का उसमें स्ट्रेंथ थोड़ी कम ही रहती थी सो उस टाइम पे भी एक आपके लिए तो टफ टास्क होता ही था एंड किस तरह से आपने इंग्लिश लैंग्वेज को भी इम्पोर्टेंस देना है बट वो मुझे काफी अच्छे से हिट किया था आपके हर एक लेक्चर वर सो इम्पैक्टफुल एंड दैट वाज जस्ट बिकॉज ऑफ स्टोरीज एवरी लेक्चर आई यूज टू वेट कि आज कौन सा स्टोरी आएगा एंड वो स्टोरी में एक मॉरल होगा that was a life changing lesson not only for me but for every person who was attending
Absolutely.
and मैं तो उन लोगों के लिए मेरे बैचमेट्स को भी बोलना चाहता हूँ कि जिन जिन लोगों ने आपका क्लास मिस किया है वो बिना रियलाइजेशन के वो लॉस में तो कहीं ना कहीं उनको हुआ होगा
Thank you. See, Rutvij, now the table has turned. Actually speaking, I also learnt with the passage of time. In your times, when you were part of my college, my classes, it was an initial stage. I was also expected to learn, to improve. So, those traditional teachings appealed to my students in a very less quantity. But then I realized that text won't help my students to come to the class. So, I kept the text aside. I made English not as a subject but as a language of communication, medium of communication.
Yes.
And so when I went to my class, my students know not whether I will focus on grammar or text. And suddenly I pop up with a problem, with a question.
yes
And then I invite my students to debate on it. So now students wait. And just to make the point clear, I put forward many more situations, stories in it. First, understand the situation first. Then you give your own opinion on it. And then come to a conclusion. This is the way, my dear.
True.
We have become so shallow nowadays, this generation, because of this digital bombarding, social media and etc. We have lost that focus of life.
True.
So now you won't believe, maximum number of students are in my class. So whenever they want something, they say, Anand, you have students in your class, please let them use your students for our activity. I said, wow, great. Please, they wait now for my class and they participate. They know that in Anand's class you need to speak. Otherwise this man is not going to leave you silently out of the class. I make them speak, I make them think, I make them participate. That's my...
And the best part is, it is not a pressure on us.
Yeah.
You do it in a very cool way.
Yeah, of course.
Sir, एक बात I'll just reveal कि I think जब पहली बार इंग्लिश का क्लास था वो that was a part कि we all enjoyed. But एक थॉट ये भी आया था कि I think फर्स्ट क्लास है इसीलिए दिस पर्सन वाज सो एक्साइटेड अब तो कंप्लीटली टेक्स्ट पे फोकस होगा.
हाँ, टेम्पो डाउन हो जाएगा.
एंड कुछ स्टूडेंट्स हम आपस में डिस्कस कर रहे थे कि आज हम सर को जैसे तैसे कन्विंस कर लेंगे कि सर आज पढ़ने का मूड नहीं है क्योंकि ऑलरेडी 13 लेक्चर्स में बहुत ज़्यादा बॉम्बार्डमेंट ऑलरेडी हो चुका है. सर आज या तो फ्री लेक्चर दे दो या आज आप पढ़ाओ ही मत. बट सेकेंड लेक्चर में आप आए, what you did that was implemented and at the end of the class we realized कि इतना portion has already been covered without us realizing कि we were doing that part.
Absolutely right, absolutely right.
So sir, एक question ये है कि when we talk about stories and rather than directly making a student understand कि this is the concept, if that same concept is delivered as a form of a story, why is it more impactful?
It makes you sensitive about life. You enter into a situation. Facts only inform you. Something that happens usually.
Right.
It just informs you. It enlightens you with knowledge, but this knowledge passes away with the passage of time. You forget that data. But stories remain with you because it works on your emotions and turn it into deep-rooted memories. They last for a long time. So stories play a pivotal role in one's upbringing.
So we can get mentally attached with the person who is telling the story.
Both, yeah, of course. Vice versa. If the storyteller makes the whole thing interesting, then the listener becomes part of the story.
Yes.
Momentarily, he jumps out of the self and becomes part of the story. He absorbs the character. He absorbs the situation. He starts thinking of that struggle the character is passing through.
True.
And in this way, he improves.
And if a storyteller is you, so the listener many times feels that they are a part of the story itself.
Yeah. That is what we need to do actually. Earlier what happened, storytelling was a passive activity. Only a storyteller was on his way telling the story. There was a passive listener. So both were having their specific roles. Now in these modern times, particularly I would say Gen Zs, you need to make the storytelling sessions interactive. You need to make them invite to participate. Current issues should be, inculcated in the story.
Right.
They must realize that it's not a dead story. It's not that the hero is from some village or from some unknown region, so what am I to do with them? No. Though the situation can be unknown to you, the problems are universal. So these universal problems must be addressed with the storytelling. Then the listener will enter into it, participate, think, and change.
Yes, yes. So, sir, do you agree that many times the listener also has his own story,
Of
and
course.
they don't realize it?
Yes, Rutvij, when you pass through a struggle, right? Okay, when you have your own, ideas of your own, okay, when you have your own successes, they can become a lesson, a life-changing force to someone in some corner of the world. So usually what do? We avoid, sharing and caring.
Right.
We avoid sharing ourselves, our stories, our, small struggles. But they can be a big lesson, a big help to others.
So many times the person might feel the fear of being judged. That's why they might be hesitant in sharing there.
Yes, that's a common, tendency of human being. We think what कुछ तो लोग कहेंगे, what people will think about me. लोग क्या सोचेंगे, लोग क्या कहेंगे. They will have, biases and prejudices about me if I just prop up my past. And so they are hesitant. They keep silent. But the best way is to share yourself because, from your past you have learned. That learning process is to be shared with.
Yes. And I think, yes, what you said, sir, ki the time is changing. Previously, if let's say a college going student is working as a mechanic in a garage, the student will hide ki I'll not share this. But nowadays the students are being opening up ki bhai, after finishing my college I need to work. So they are quite more outspoken also.
Yes, this generation is very outspoken, very bold. They don't hesitate, and I appreciate. Really, I appreciate. My student, he said every vacation, sir, I have my bike. I go for Swiggy. I register myself.
Okay.
And I go for 6-7 hours Swiggy. One of my students, he says, sir, I go for Rapido. Though he lives in Kadi, he says, sir, during vacation I go to Ahmedabad, register myself on Rapido. I drive people at my leisure times a day, and every day I earn 5 to 600 rupees. I said, great. Minimum 5 to 600 rupees. He earns out of it. I come across new people, new destinations, new reactions. Some appreciate, some just ignore you. I learn.
Right.
Real life experience. So this is good about this generation, Gen Zs, that they're bold. They don't hesitate to experiment.
Yes. So sir, you said कि definitely children, they do get influenced by stories. What about adults?
For adults, story tradition is more important.
Okay.
Because, these harsh realities of life have doomed us with stress and confusions. कंफ्यूजन ही कंफ्यूजन है, सॉल्यूशन का पता नहीं, सॉल्यूशन जो मिले तो साला क्वेश्चन क्या था पता नहीं. That's the problem with these, middle-aged people or grown-up people. So if they are introduced to stories once again, they come across many people just like them with same struggles, same problems, but they are less broken, less depressed, less suicidal. So they connect with others and they come out of their own emotional self-imprisonments.
Right.
They regain energy. They get ready for new ventures. And in this way, they emotionally heal from within.
I was actually going to ask कि what impacts do storytelling tell for emotional healing also? कि
Yeah, you're right, Rutij. Actually, we take it mostly as a time pass or just for sheer entertainment. We use stories. But actually, it has a cathartic effect on human mind. It's a pure science. Storytelling. Why? From so many centuries, so many ages, this tradition has lasted. So many things have changed, but storytelling has not changed.
Yes.
Because it has a cathartic effect. When you listen to others' struggles, others' pressures, you identify with them and your own excessive emotions are released. You get liberated from within. You rediscover new hope of life. Multiple positive perspectives towards life you attain. And you rejuvenate and get ready for new show of life. It's very important.
We get new directions.
Yes. New hopes, new energies. Otherwise, just a latest data. Government said that in 2025, 20 lakh students committed suicide. Because suppressed emotions. Family suicides. Every day it comes in our newspapers.
True.
Parents, along with their children, commit suicide. See, it's your failure. But why you impose your failure on your child, on your children?
True.
Let them face society. Let them struggle. Give them at least an opportunity. But you end them up with your own failures. So there you need stories, hopes, survival, opportunities, possibilities, probabilities. It can only be possible through stories.
Great.
That's why people go for motivational speeches,
But sir, even motivational speeches, many times they begin with stories.
Of course they need to, because these stories are not fiction, but real life stories. If I open up with Karsanbhai Patel,
Okay.
the founder of Nirma, the empire, detergent powder, and now Nirma, the university, knowledge, hub.
Right.
That man started with a small bicycle.
Right.
He had, this detergent powder produced at his own home. And in a own bag, he used to go shop by shop, convincing people for this new, invention. Earlier, people used to only use detergent cakes to wash clothes.
Right.
And he was the first man to introduce detergent powder.
Right.
He talked to people. He argued with them, debated with them, convinced them. And then he became a success. He had a farm near Karnavati Club, Nima farm.
Yes.
He still preserved that bicycle.
Oh,
This was my beginning. So when you have some such stories in your motivational speeches, people realize that this is true life story, not fiction.
right.
Some imaginary character, some imaginary situation. Karsanbhai Patel, a real life man. From zero to hero, the journey speaks. Success is not important, journey is important.
Yes, yes. But many times people avoid the difficult decisions. People do not want to indulge into difficult times, and they just think of success.
Success.
So, I think the story also helps them to live this journey,
Yes.
enjoy this journey. If you get rejected, if you get hurt, heal yourself and proceed ahead with it.
Absolutely. So it's an invitation to every listener that don't run away from problems. Don't run away from struggles. They are innate part of life. Whether it is life of some Karsanbhai Patel or some Dhirubhai Ambani or some Adani, it is part of everyone's life. Why you are so afraid? Why you escape, run away, avoid? And by avoiding, you are not actually, getting liberated. They are at one or the other stage going to be part of your life. You have to face them. Then why not now?
Right.
This part is produced by storytelling.
True.
This delay is avoided. Hamlet, to be or not to be, that is the question. So he was so late in his life, executing the task, taking revenge of his father's untimely death,
Right.
that he also ended up tragically. Instead, if he listened to some good story, Hamlet, that Prince of Denmark,
Right.
then he would have right time executed the task and would have lived a happy life, satisfied life.
True.
So storytelling actually helps you, strengthens you to face problems of life.
And differentiate कि ये करना है. All
ये
these
नहीं
things are
करना.
not to be done.
Yeah, because that sense of what is right and wrong, moral awareness is also rejuvenated by stories. Because stories are about good and bad. Where there is a hero, there is a villain. And do you know, this hero and villain are within everyone. And you just need to identify. This is a subtler aspect of life, but that's the truth, beta.
True. True.
Ravana, he is not a black and white truth. He was a hero, he was a villain as well.
Yes.
And for both the things, he himself was responsible. He worked hard,
For
earned knowledge, and became Ravana, the most powerful, the most knowledgeable man of his times. But his ego pulled him down, and he died miserably at the hands of Rama. So this is what human life is.
Sir, do you agree? Previously, when I was I was a child, I used to hear stories from my grandmother.
Yes.
Story of Mahabharat, story of Ramayana, and all.
Yeah.
Today's generation, when we talk about, they are deprived of these stories many times due to the struggles that you said previously.
Actually, this, what we call it, isolated families
Yes.
have made the situation worse. Earlier, we had, collective families. We had grandparents, we had uncles and aunts live together. So at least in the house, somebody was free
Yes.
to spend time with the child. Here, only two parents and a child. So only three are there in the family. Right? Parents are busy with their jobs. The child is at the mercy of Aya. And Aya has nothing to do with storytelling.
True.
She will just open up the cartoon channel and drag you to get doomed up. Your mind gets blocked up. Nowadays, parents give mobile to a newborn baby and get it doomed.
Trying the easy way.
Yes, but in older days, I am lucky. When my grandma used to tell me stories from Ramayana and the Mahabharata, I got connected with my cultural roots.
Yes.
Rama, son of Dashratha. So when I compare the father and son, I realize that though the father had many weaknesses, a son can be a strong being,
Right.
hope of a better life. Right? And his sons, Love and Kush, were equally strong, though deprived of fatherhood.
Right.
Those were born in forest. They had only motherly love. They were not, lucky enough to get fatherly. And yet, because of that perfect motherly love, they grew strong and they were ready to fight back their father. That's, cultural roots. We need to get connected. My father, he used to tell me stories about my ancestors. 7 past generations.
Oh.
He made me to remember them, all my great grandfathers by heart.
Oh.
He said, Anand, listen to these people's lives. You will get your physical roots there. This is the blood that you are born out of. I am not the only, caretaker of you. I am not the only one who give you a birth. I am born out of my father. He was born out of his great-grandfather and then great-great-great-grandfather. You need to know your physical roots. So this is how stories work, beta. It strengthens your roots. If your roots are weak, the building is, let it be so beautiful, it will collapse one or the other day.
Right.
So materialistic success everybody have, but those spiritual roots have got weakened up because of the absence of storytelling tradition. And so these wonderful buildings of our youth get collapsed. We are get addicted to drugs and intoxications. So many things are happening nowadays. Drink and drive cases. Why we drink? Why we smoke? Why we go to drugs? The entire Punjab state is destroyed. Gujarat, every day, drugs are captured by police. Why drug is so much in demand in Gujarat? Because we are losing our roots.
Right.
In absence of storytelling. So we need to revive, beta. Child doesn't need mobile, doesn't need a bike or Activa or a car from his parents. He needs strong roots, memories, moral awareness, empathies, what is good or bad, what is right or wrong, what is true heroism, what is true courage. Only story can tell you, my dear.
Right. Even just changing the topic a bit.
Yeah.
Today's many stand-up comics, they are doing stand-up comedy by narrating their own
Stories. Life stories.
Yes. Ki I just went over there. There was a funny incident,
Yeah.
and it sounds so relatable that many of us might have experienced similar things.
Yes.
So, what is the difference between a stand-up comic who is just narrating
His story.
Or we can say observations that we are not sharing and they are sharing in public?
Good. See, who can be the best storyteller? One who talks about himself. Because usually what happens when a fresh listener comes across a story, he's not much sincere about it because he thinks story is a fiction,
Yes.
just creation of an imaginative mind. But a stand-up comedian, when he starts with his own self, it's 100% honesty is there. 100% commitment is there. No hypocrisy. Thorough realism is there. Right. And he is 100% emotionally attached to the situation. That appeals the listener. Though he laughs actually at the stand-up comedian, actually he attaches himself to the one and he revives his own untold stories, untold such comic situations, and he laughs at his own self as well.
Right.
So earlier what actually pressurized us, our own failures.
Right.
Now we learned to laugh at them. That's why stand-up comedy has become a new trend, very popular trend. People want to laugh not at others but at his own failures. So in that way, stand-up comedy is a good tradition, new tradition, healthy tradition. It helps you to laugh at your own failures.
And this is also a new trend that previously stand-up comics were just narrating the jokes.
Yes.
Some of the jokes, if we have heard.
Yeah, Johnny Lever, for example, he used to mimic, voices that if Amitabh Bachchan delivers a cricket commentary, how would it be? So we used to laugh at an imaginative situation. But now these stand-up comedians are bold enough. Gen Zs, even girls are there as a stand-up comedian.
Yes, yes.
They talk about their periods. They talk about their, harmonical changing cycles. Though they laugh at these things, these odd, situations, they help you realize what happens to the multitude women, girls around you.
Because similar problems might have faced by so many other people.
Absolutely, my dear. See, so it brings you close to reality.
Yes.
In our, conservative setup, usually we avoid talk about these things.
Yes.
Talk about periods. Talk about, harmonical changes. Talk about, relation between boy and a girl. एक लड़का और लड़की कभी दोस्त नहीं हो सकते. Hell with this nonsense. Why not? Why can't a boy and a girl walk together, sit together, talk together? What is wrong in it? If they go to a restaurant, if they go to a canteen, spend time together, what is wrong? Let them learn what it is to be a girl or a boy.
Right.
All these years, we have suppressed them to know the other one.
Yes. Yes.
But in this way, they grow up. And here again, storytelling is a good instrument to bring them out of that, shallow social cocoon.
True.
I invite my students. I ask them, share the same bench. I don't want India and Pakistan in my class. I do say, girls on left side, boys on right side. What nonsense is going on in my class?
Right.
Aren't you grown up? You have completed 12 years of your schooling and still you believe in this nonsense partitions, gender biases, and suddenly one day you start living with the same gender bias 24/7 in the name of marriage. Suddenly, will that marriage can be a success?
Probably not.
Because you don't know how to talk to a girl, how to walk with a girl, how to sit with a girl with a proper respect.
Right.
So, beta, storytelling is important. It opens up new windows.
Sir, I just remember one incident. I saw a movie, Once Upon a Time in Mumbai.
Yeah.
It is मतलब अजय देवगन है उसमें,
Yeah.
इमरान हाशमी है, and इमरान हाशमी's girlfriend is प्राची देसाई. So एक scene है उसमें that इमरान हाशमी has been grown up with only boys. And he recently got in relation with Prachi. And I think it was some occasion where Imran wanted to have a celebration with Prachi. So what he brought? An alcohol का bottle. So Prachi's expression was like, तुम अपने दोस्तों के साथ पार्टी नहीं कर रहे हो.
That's what I mean to say. We don't know what it is to be a woman, यार.
Right.
मैं यही अपने बच्चों को कहता हूँ कि यार 18 के हो गए हो, but you don't know what it is to be a girl. A girl, what she passes through every month. Those 6 days of hell that she passes through. Have you ever felt that pain? I asked them, in one reel I saw it and I shared that reel in my class, that observe your class girls not from their outer physical structures.
Right.
Observe, study their expressions, identify when they are having their periods, those confusions, those pains, and when they are in pain, go to them, give them a chocolate. Chocolate has a positive effect on mind.
Yes,
And that way, she will first time in her life realize that, wow, a boy can be with my pain.
Right.
He can not only be a distant watcher, voyeurist, who is, torturing me from a distance, gazing my physique, but he participates in my pain.
Right.
This is new story, these reels, these shorts, it's a new storytelling method. They are good. There are very good reels I come across on Insta. I share them in my student group.
Okay.
Where it's a New Year Day, maybe it's a Holi, maybe it's a Christmas, where they talk about, actually, storytelling humanizes a child. humanizes a youth beyond caste, class, gender, religion, or regional biases, my dear. It makes you a complete human being, free from these, human social boundaries, cultural boundaries.
Very true.
You need to, beta. You need to.
Sir, I still remember one of my students. I'm talking 4 years back. So I'm a biology teacher. So in 10th and 12th, there is the topic of menstrual cycle and all.
Yes.
So there was a student of my class and in class 10th, and I was discussing this menstrual cycle. So I also discussed about this is the pain, this is the part, and this is the cycle which is a monthly cycle which is
Yes.
repeated and all. After 3-4 days, one of the student approached me and he said, "Sir, thank you pehle to," and I was a bit confused for what. And he was like, even my family has this taboo.
Yes.
If the girl has the flow going on, periods
Okay.
going on,
She is to be isolated.
she'll not enter
Treated as
into
an
kitchen.
untouchable.
Untouchable.
Yeah.
Not entering into kitchen. पूजा नहीं करनी है.
पूजा नहीं करनी है. Yes.
So I was a bit confused because she recently has entered into her periods. So I was a bit confused. This is what he said. But the way you narrated it, and I thought कि ये तो normal है.
Yeah.
So I talked to my parents कि अब से ऐसा नहीं होगा. And his mom also thanked me कि मैं जब शादी के बाद घर पे आई थी तो मैं इस ट्रेंड को चेंज नहीं कर पाई जो मेरे बेटे ने कर दिया.
दिखाया.
तो एक तरह से मुझे भी काफी प्राउड फील हुआ कि being a teacher, you have a great influence, and if
Yes.
a teacher becomes a storyteller,
That's a life-changing, force. I tell you the one story of my own life.
Please.
At the time of my wife, maybe say I was not bold enough to take some such decisions. But when it came to my daughter, when she had periods, maybe in the initial stage she was short of those sanitary pads, so she was in panic. Mama, I want one of my type, not your one, please. I have my periods. So she said, come on, ask your father. She said, Mama, how can I ask my father to go to the shop, medical shop, and get me? I said, why not, beta? I have given you birth as a baby girl. For your gender, father is responsible. That is pure science. It's father who is responsible whether the
Yes.
baby is a boy or a girl.
Yes,
So
yes.
if you are a baby, it's because of me. And because you are a girl, you are having periods, so I am responsible for that too. Then let me go to the shop and get you your sanitary pads, your type. He said, Papa, can you? I said, why not? Let me. I went to the medical shop. She just narrated the details, but I forgot. I called her on mobile. Beta, which brand you want for? And she said, Papa, it's pink wala. I said, just give me the name. And then she said, okay, fine. Then the shopkeeper said, sir, XL, double XL. I said, beta, what? First time I realized that what confusions or complexities they have.
Yes,
Then he gave
yes.
me in black polythene bag. I returned the polythene bag. He said, sir, please. I said, no, thank you. It's just a sanitary pad for my daughter.
Right.
And I'm not ashamed of it. I just put it on my bike desk, drove it out of the market, went through my society and delivered it to my girl. She smiled. She was proud. My father is grown up now.
So it's like a child also gave birth to parents.
Parents, absolutely, beta, absolutely. And this is what I share in my class, my life story.
Right.
When she came to age, I used to talk about, boyfriend, girlfriend issues. I used to talk. I used to walk for hours in the evening, only we two together, and discussed about this mental and physical change going on, urging for the other one. I created a platform for my girl where she can openly talk to my society boys. So after having cricket with my society boys, because my home is just in front of the common plot.
Okay.
So my girl used to sit on the swing with my wife when I was playing, I realized that she was observing me and the boys playing along with me. That's the need of the time.
True.
Similarly, the boys also, though they were playing with me, they were looking at my daughter also. She was young, she was beautiful. I said, great. Again, nothing abnormal about it, nothing to be angry with. So after the game was over, I said, come on boys, come to my veranda. Let's sit and talk. So I invited, they were surprised. Uncle is inviting us to talk to his home where his wife and his daughter are there already sitting on the swing. Are you sure, uncle? I said, yeah, come on. And we all went there. I had the discussion earlier with my wife. We were very clear. We are a good team, mates. Yeah. Whatever experiments we are going to execute, we talk first, make the things clear, and then we execute the task effectively. And then we opened up just discussion. Earlier they pretended to talk to us, not directly to my daughter, but then we, cropped up, sensitive issues, and then they aggressively started participating, and slowly I and my wife resigned. And my daughter remained there with those boys talking aggressively, sharing their personal views. The society was in shock what this man is doing. Letting boys and girl, his own girl, talk together, spend time together. What is wrong? Do we want them to do the same in some dark corner? Or publicly having a common platform where they healthily discuss, where they talk?
Right.
So this is what we need by. This is my life story that I share in my classrooms. This is what kind of parenting I want.
So, sir, if we talk about storytelling, as such, I think everyone is a storyteller.
Yes.
For example, being a teacher, if we ask a student कि homework क्यों नहीं किया, they are also narrating stories only.
Yes.
In the form of any kind of, whether it is acceptable or not acceptable, but they are narrating stories.
Yes.
If we tell a student to get out of the class, वहाँ पे भी कुछ ना कुछ किस्से ही बन रहे हैं उनके.
Yeah, bluffing चलता ही होता है.
And if we talk about a person who wants to deliver a story, how can that story be more impactful? Or what a storyteller needs to describe?
Okay.
Is there any particular way to create an impact or to change minds?
Okay. Number one, honesty is very important.
Okay.
No snobbery. No lies. Honesty. And real life emotions should be narrated, should be talked about. No supernatural realities to be shared with. Ground zero reality. Ground zero, life situations, life struggles, consequences, and survivals are to be discussed. They can be a life-changing force again, my dear. And do you know who could be a great storyteller? Come on, you tell me, Virtri. Who can be a great storyteller?
What I feel is कि if I need to tell a story, what I was believing till now is कि you need to be big in order to share your stories.
You need to be a good listener. First, you need to observe life closely. We just see the surface truth, common man.
Right.
And so we don't learn much from life. Life has offered us ample things, ample situations, ample experiences, but we just move on the shallow waters.
Right.
But if you observe life closely, if you listen to the unspoken words, and if you give your 100% to life, then you learn a lot. And if this learning is shared in the form of a story, then a great listener can become a great storyteller. Because he has acquired all these from real life situation, real life people. So to become a good storyteller, you need to be a good listener first.
Right. And for becoming a good listener, you need to have a stable mind, which
Yeah.
is quite tough to get in this fast life.
Of course, fine. It's a fast growing world, right? Earlier we had long narratives like Jules Verne's Around the World in 80 Days,
Right.
or Journey to the Center of the Earth. Children's science fictions,
Right.
long narratives.
Right.
In our languages, if we focus, we had Raja Vikram or 32 Putliyon ki kahaniyan, a thick book. So we had ample time earlier.
Ali Baba Chali.
Right. But now in this fast growing world, we have shorts, reels, podcasts. So my dear, labels have changed. Bottle has remained the same. So storytelling tradition is still alive. But in a short span, it is executed.
Right.
But this span must be carefully handled with. In the same older tradition, if you go one-way talking and passive listening, then this short span would not be properly, exploited. And that precious storytelling moment will be wasted. The listener is not going to pay attention to.
एंड दैट इज़ वाई वी कैन से कि अगर कोई स्वामी जी हैं वो कथा कर रहे हैं तो मेनी पीपल हु आर सिटिंग देयर sometimes they are distracted too.
Yeah.
Because the long things what they are narrating, agreed that they are actually focusing on the things which actually happened as a history. But sometimes the listener gets distracted.
For example, the 4 Vedas,
Right.
Rig Veda, Yajur Veda, Atharva Veda, these Vedas had the ultimate truth of life, timeless truths of life.
Right.
But they are not everybody's cup of tea. Every common man cannot understand it, like the Baba's sayings. They too, actually, whatever they say is truth, no doubt about it. But the theoretical part is not so easy to be digested. And so Veda Vyasa wrote the 5th Veda, Mahabharata. Hundreds of characters are there. Thousands of situations are there. Struggles are there. Falls, rises, survivals, confusions, and then ultimate victories.
Right.
So these stories, these characters helped you to realize what Krishna wanted to say to Arjuna in Bhagavad Gita. Again, Bhagavad Gita is not everybody's cup of tea. But if you listen to Ramayana carefully, Mahabharata, those characters, those rises and falls, you will realize what is actually Karma Yoga, what is Bhakti Yoga. So theology needs to be explained through stories.
Right. सर आपने बोला नॉट एवरीबॉडीज कप ऑफ टी.
हाँ.
आप चाय पियेंगे?
प्लीज हो जाए. एक कप चाय तो बनती है. ग्रेट. थैंक यू. Thank you, Rutvij, for covering so many aspects of storytelling and storytellers as well. बहुत कुछ हम लोगों ने बातें की, बहुत कुछ conclusions भी हम लोगों ने देखे कि which can be a best story, a story that is told about our own lives. Who can be the best storyteller? Then our own selves. But सच कहूँ कई बार सोचता हूँ तो लगता है कि who is the greatest storyteller? चलो अच्छे तो बहुत सारे हैं. Who is the best one? And after thinking a lot, I come to a conclusion that Krishna is the first storyteller on earth and the best storyteller. He lived through ample diversities of life. He went through ample struggles of life, something that you can't even imagine. Challenges he went through. Born in a prison.
Yes.
Brought up by, what we call it, other parents. His own parents were not there.
Yes.
Right? And then shifted frequently from one land to the other land, one culture to the other culture, and always sacrificed the loved ones. The gopis in Vrindavan and Mathura, the friends, precious friendships he sacrificed to journey to Dwarka.
जी.
Radha, he sacrificed a true love for the sake of better life to his own people. And then suddenly, when this, world war was about to crop up, Kurukshetra,
Yes, yes.
he realized that it's his duty now. He cannot remain silent. He cannot be just an outside observer. So he entered into it. So the most important is a storyteller observes the situation and participate in it. He tried to absorb their point of view. Pre-night of the war, he went to Bhishma to
Yes.
convince that, sir, if you just change your mind, this war can be avoided.
Still, it can be avoided.
He went to Karna and shared the most hidden truth of his life, that he is the eldest Pandava, first son of Kunti. He shared the truth with him.
Yes.
And instigated him to change his mind, because Duryodhana believed the most in Karna than Bhishma or Dronacharya or Krupacharya. So he knew that if Karna changes his mind, there would be no Kurukshetra war. To save the millions, he went to him, but Karna also refused. Dronacharya and Krupacharya, the great knowledgeable people, पता नहीं उन्होंने क्या कहा था जब when Krishna said, sir, please change your mind. उन्होंने सिर्फ एक शब्द कहा, अर्थस्य पुरुषो दास. हम पैसों के गुलाम हैं, पैसा किसी का गुलाम नहीं है. So we are bound to the throne, क्योंकि यही सिंहासन ने हमको ये पोजीशन दी, ये महल दिया, ये सहूलत दी. अब इस सिंहासन को हम नहीं छोड़ सकते. So whether Duryodhana is right or wrong, Dhritarashtra is right or wrong, is negligible. We have to fight for them.
Right. But
So he couldn't stop the war.
Yes.
Then he didn't run away. He still remained there. He gave a choice still to both Kauravas and Pandavas. Either you want Krishna without a weapon, a passive, observer in the war, or you want his powerful army. And Kaurava went for the army and Pandavas went for Krishna. So passively, as a charioteer, he remained in the war for 18 days.
right.
Passively, he participated in the war, and he was the major force to make righteousness victorious at the end. धर्मस्य विजय कृष्ण के कारण ही हुआ. भले उन्होंने शस्त्र ना उठाए, मगर वो लड़ते रहे.
Right.
Through Bhagavad Gita, he addressed the whole universe. कि ये कृष्ण और अर्जुन कहीं बाहर थे ही नहीं. ये कृष्ण और अर्जुन ऋत्विज में भी है, आनंद में भी है, सब में है. What is Arjuna? Dilemma. करूं या ना करूं, अपने ही लोगों से लड़ूं या सरेंडर कर दूं,
Right.
या सत्य के लिए लड़ूं, मारूं, या कॉम्प्रोमाइज करके असत्य को चलने दूं. यही तो कंफ्यूजन्स के बीच हम सब लोग जी रहे हैं.
Right. सही है.
इन भासस प्ले एक अद्भुत संवाद दुर्योधन के मुख में, उसमें दुर्योधन का नाम सुयोधन रखा है भास ने, और सुयोधन के मुख में एक अद्भुत श्लोक रखा है, जानामि धर्मम न च मे प्रवृत्ति ही. धर्म क्या है मुझे पता है, मगर मैं उसमें प्रवृत्त हो नहीं पा रहा हूँ. जानामि अधर्मम न च मे निवृत्ति ही. जो अधर्म है वो भी मैं जानता हूँ, मगर उससे मैं विड्रॉ अपने आप को नहीं कर पा रहा हूँ. दिस इज द हेल्पलेसनेस ऑफ एवरी कॉमन मैन. और वो कृष्ण थे जो इन सब हेल्पलेसनेस से पर हुए. वो लड़े और धर्म को विजयी बनाया. भले पांडव कौरवों से बहुत कमजोर थे. They were not strong enough to fight back the invincible Bhishma, the invincible Karna, Dronacharya. They could not ever be able to defeat them all. But because of Krishna, they succeeded.
Right. Right.
And look at the irony that this man had to fight with his own people when they went wrong, Yadavas.
Right.
He never hesitated. He tried to change their minds, bring them on right path by that Dharma Yatra. When he failed, he slayed them all.
Right.
जो उन्होंने कुरुक्षेत्र में औरों के साथ नहीं किया वो उन्होंने अपने साथ किया, यादवा स्थली की उन्होंने कि यदि आप सत्य के मार्ग पे नहीं जाओगे तो आई वोंट अलाउ यू टू स्पॉइल दिस वर्ल्ड। ही मेड देम डाई, हिज ओन पीपल, हिज ओन सन्स, हिज ओन ब्रदर, हिज ओन अंकल, ही मेड देम डाई। दैट्स अ ग्रेट मैन
एंड द बेस्ट स्टोरी टेलर एवर।
और जब अंत में सब कुछ खत्म हो गया, सब कुछ, सारे कर्म उनके खत्म हो गए, जो भी उनको करना सब कर्म खत्म हो गए, वो जंगल में ही विड्रू हिमसेल्फ कि बस अब मेरे कार्य खत्म हो गए, मैं बैठा हूँ अपने आप को देख रहा हूँ। ही वॉज इन ध्यानस्थ अवस्था। और तब वो शिकारी आता है, मृग समझ के तीर मारता है, नजदीक आता है, कृष्ण को देख के डर जाता कि यार गलती हो गई, सर मुझे माफ कर दीजिए, आप मुझसे गलती हो गई। तब कृष्ण मुस्कुराते हैं और कहते हैं बेटा भाग जाओ। मेरे लोगों को पता चला कि तुमने मुझे मारा है तो वो तुम्हें नहीं छोड़ेंगे। आई वॉज बोर्न टू डाई, यू आर जस्ट अ मीडियम ऑफ माई डेथ, यू डिडंट किल मी। अगेन द अल्टीमेट ट्रूथ ऑफ भगवद गीता। अर्जुन तुम इन्हें मार ही नहीं रहे हो, तुम तो सिर्फ माध्यम हो उनकी मृत्यु के, इनकी मृत्यु निश्चित है,
लिखा है वो होके रहेगा।
हाँ, तू अपने आप को क्यों ब्लेम गेम, सी ब्लेम गेम, हम लोग हमेशा अपने आप को औरों की निष्फलताओं के लिए जिम्मेदार ठहराते हैं और उसी में पूरी जिंदगी अपने आप को कोसते कोसते खत्म हो जाते हैं, रोते रहते हैं, कोसते रहते हैं। कृष्ण इज द फर्स्ट हीरो जो कभी रोता नहीं है, अपने आप को कोसता नहीं है। बेटा जाओ, यही थी मेरी मृत्यु की क्षण, तुम जाओ। वो चला जाता है और वो कोई पाटा पिंडी करने के बजाय बैठे हैं ध्यानस्थ अवस्था में, एंड ही विथड्रू, he resigns. So this is Krishna. He made all these stories possible, all these real life situations, real life struggles.
So, sir, if I focus on one part, that is one of the युग जिसमें महाभारत हुआ था, and when we talk about today's युग कलयुग है, उसमें भी बहुत सारे अलग अलग जनरेशन्स हैं। तो what exactly this story plays if we want to bridge up the generational gap?
चलो पहले एक बात तो मैं कहूँगा, a small correction on your part. There is nothing called Kalyug and Satyug and Dwapar or Treta Yug.
Okay.
Time is here. So युग भी व्यक्तिगत होते हैं. It's you who will decide what your time is.
Right.
So if you understand Krishna, then you are in Satyug. if you understand them halfway, then you might be in Treta or Dwapar. And if you misunderstand him, you are in Kalyug.
Right.
So storytelling, stories expand beyond boundaries. उन्हें कोई देश की या प्रदेश की सीमाएं, भाषा की सीमाएं रोक नहीं सकती. Do you know at the beginning I talked about Panchatantra, right?
Right.
Do you know Panchatantra was written 2200 years back. 2200 साल पहले लिखा गया था.
Is it that?
ये कहानी संग्रह 200 भाषाओं में ट्रांसलेट हुआ और 50 देशों में ये घुमा, अलग अलग नाम से ये घुमा.
Oh. So I didn't know कि ये इतना पुराना है.
बताओ. It was first read by Britishers in a Persian translation. Today's Iran.
Oh.
It was found in Arabic translation, Saudi Arabia. It was found in Java.
Okay.
Malaysia, Indonesia, their versions of Panchatantra are everywhere. So see the effectiveness of a storytelling tradition. These cultures, these languages also adopted. That animals, when they speak, none can resist to think about it. यदि आनंद बोलता है तो मे भी चलो पाकिस्तानी वाले को इंटरेस्ट हो गया, आनंद कोई है, वो हिंदू बोल रहा है, मुझे नहीं सुनना है. मगर जब शेर बोलेगा तो कौन से उसे सुनने के लिए अपने आप को रोक पाएगा. जब एक कौवा या एक चींटी एक दूसरे के साथ बात करती है, चींटी और वो कबूतर की कहानी आती है, राइट? वो मगर और बंदर की कहानी आती है दोस्ती की, कि कौन सच्चा दोस्त है.
राइट.
तो कौन उसे ना महसूस कर पाएगा बेटा. दिस इज स्टोरी कल्चर.
So it is not only bridging generation gap, it is bringing the world together.
रीजनल, या वसुदेव कुटुंबकम, सही भाव में हम एक होते, एकीकरण होता है कहानियों से, हम एक होते हैं. यू नो व्हाट आर माय मोस्ट फेवरेट स्टोरीज इन इंग्लिश लिटरेचर? स्टोरीज रिटन बाय चेखोव, a Russian writer. Wonderful stories he has written. Somerset Maugham, a British writer.
Okay.
O. Henry, American writer. Wonderful stories.
Yes.
And
yes.
each story has a new perspective of love. You always talked about love.
Right. Right. So, sir, वैसे अगर बात चल ही रही है कि you are telling about the bridging up of entire world, but let's not look away when today's generation is there. So, sir, do you think that today's generation is very much vulnerable in falling up with any kind of, let's say, in a wrong hand, or they are quite addictive?
These wrong hands are given to them, passed on to them by our wrong parenting. Let me tell you frankly, beta.
Right. Right.
Our present parenting is a miserable failure. Instead of connecting them with their own roots, physical roots in the sense of grandparents
Right.
and relatives.
Right. Nuclear family.
Yeah. Other way around, connecting them with their own cultural traditions by telling them stories of their, Ramayana and Mahabharata, etc. We have given them, handed over mobiles with 2.5 data free every day. Full of Insta and Twitter and Facebook, where digital bombarding is there, fake things are there. They are constantly in the void of comparison and competition.
Right.
They are to be bring back. They need to be slowed down. They need to be introvert.
Right.
They need to think. And this thinking process can only be started through story. And that too in a dialogue form now. Discussion, hot discussion should be there. So when a storytelling session should be thrown out to some clubhouse or to some social gathering, there shouldn't be any book in the hands of a storyteller. No. There shouldn't be any background. Once upon a time, there was a king with two sons. No king. Not needed. Just say, like, Chekhov started a story. The title was The Bat. A banker, successful banker, threw a party to all the successful people of the town. So doctors, engineers, successful people, teachers, managers, politicians, they all gathered in that party. Every group has their own topic of discussion. But one topic attracted everybody's attention. What is good? Capital punishment. It has two faces. Life imprisonment or execution. I teach this story in my final year BSc class.
Okay.
Do you know, for next 50 minutes, we had a hot discussion. The opening line of the story made my students having hot discussion. I just opened up the question to my students. I said, chalo, hell with the story. Assume a situation, Ananya case. I opened up a story, real life story, Ananya case. That physiotherapist from Dehradun gang raped and killed miserably in Delhi, right? What will you do with the 4 criminals, rapists?
Either hang them or life in prison. Okay.
So the first reaction was emotional. Girls directly went for hanging them up all. Boys said, sir, no, there should be another chance of changing their minds, and so life imprisonment. Then I added some more stories. That Hyderabad case, again one more physiotherapist who was gang raped and burnt in a living state. I said, think, if she was your sister or your wife, what will you do? Now the boys changed their mind. No, sir, they are to be hanged up. Why? So I started putting forward new situations, and they started thinking. They were concentrated. Now they were looking at the issue personally.
Right.
So next 50 minutes, only the opening line was discussed. See, beta, this is what we need now. No straightforward storytelling.
Right.
Then the second stage in the story. a bet cropped up. The banker was in favor of life execution. A young lawyer said, "Sir, life imprisonment is better. At least a second chance is given." He said, "This is nonsense. I can bet 2 million if you can stay in a prison for 15 years. At least 5 years." He said, "Sir, why 5? If you bet 2 million, I can bet 15 years. And without any reason, at that night, in that party, a bet came into existence. Again, I stopped. Just second paragraph of the story. I stopped. I said, "Chalo, I give you the same choice. If you are that young lawyer, what will you do? Will you take 15 years? He is only almost of your age. You are 20. He was 22. LLB completed. What will you do? Will you sacrifice your 15 years for $2 million? 2 million means $20 lakh. Multiply by 90. 18 करोड़. चलो सोचो बेटा, क्या करोगे आप? यदि 15 साल के बदले में आपको 18 करोड़ देता हूं, तो आप एक कमरे में 15 साल रहोगे. And do you know, for that whole hour, next lecture, the whole hour, my students were thinking, discussing, quarreling. Girls became aggressive. Which one is the right answer? This should be storytelling tradition now.
Involve them.
Involve them. It will extend their attention span. Something that is sacrificed because of the digital platforms.
Right.
We cannot concentrate. Here, 15 minutes, students are thinking and thinking. They are debating with their next benchmate. What should be the answer? Why this? Why not that? They are fighting to change the other one's mind now. They are fighting. I am just a listener. The actual storyteller is now a listener, and they are, telling their own arguments. Rutvich, this is important. They must be involved now into real life situations.
And this is how they will build resilience towards today's world?
In adversities, in worst conditions, they will learn to fight. Again, the thing that I said ahead of it, 23 lakh students committed suicide. It's a very painful data. Why? Because they were not taught to resiliate. So just to worry about their 10th or 12th examination, a girl committed suicide in Surat.
Right.
Worried about the 12th exam. Just finished.
True.
Or when it was a time of, 10th or 12th result, students commit suicide. If I fail, at least wait for the result to come. And what if you fail? Again, after 6 months, one more exam will be there. One more board will be there. You are not over, yaar. But it can only be possible when you go through the stories. Stories of people passing through worst situations, and yet they survive.
Right.
They struggle, get stronger, and get victories. That's why stories are important. To save such people, weak people, to make them stronger. To give them opportunity to grow stronger and succeed in life. Beta, stories are to be shared with.
Sir, this was really a roller coaster for me. Ki there were different hormones also released in my mind, and I could also personally connect right now. Ki if there is someone who is narrating a sad part, we are actually connecting with them, and we try to understand कि अगर ये पास हो सकता है इस सिचुएशन से, शायद हमारे प्रॉब्लम्स छोटे हैं या इक्विवेलेंट भी हैं या ज़्यादा हैं, हम भी निकल सकते हैं.
और क्या?
So, sir, पहले तो thank you so very much कि you spent some time.
I thank you to give me this podcast platform to share my, feelings, my life learnings to so many unseen, listeners, audience.
And I'm sure काफ़ी viewers को भी ये एक बहुत deep message मिला होगा.
Thank you.
So, dear viewers, वैसे तो ये बातें बहुत चल सकती हैं हमारी, but there are many limitations that we face right now. So, I hope you also enjoyed, as I said. Here we end today's episode. मिलते हैं एक अलग एपिसोड में एक नए स्पीकर के साथ, एक नए व्यू पॉइंट के साथ.
And
Till
we
then,
eagerly wait for your responses, my dear all listeners. We eagerly wait for your responses.
do let us know about what all things that you felt during this
Yes.
time, during this discussion.
Yeah.
Till then, take care and keep supporting.
Goodbye. Goodbye. Thank you. Thank you.